Grab out your old Christmas cookie tins for today's video or head to Dollar Tree. They have a nice selection for only $1.50 each, or here's an extra little tip, head to the food aisle. They even have smaller little mini cookie tins. They're filled with yummy cookies, or even better yet, head to the thrift store. I was able to find some for under $1. Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Shannon from TheDailyDIYer.com and we are budget-friendly crafting for Christmas today using Christmas tins. Now let's get right into it. First, you're going to need 3 different sizes of cookie tins, ones that are going to stack nicely and basically fit right down inside of each other. I'm going to show you here. We're going to use that little mini cookie tin along with 2 other Dollar Tree tins for this DIY. I'm going to start by using my absolute favorite crafting product of the year. It is this gorgeous liquid gold paint that goes on super easy, nice coverage, dries quickly, and it is just pure magic. So what I'm going to do is, since each one of these tins has a different color around the edge, I'm going to give it 2 coats of this paint, which goes a really long way, and I'll link it down below for you. And we are just going to make sure that each one of these tins looks the same. We don't want different colors here. We want these all to match. Next, we're going to flip over the smallest and medium-sized lids. You don't have to worry about painting the bottom of the biggest lid. You're not going to see that, but you may see the bottoms of the smaller 2, so make sure to give that 2 coats of paint as well. Next, in the party section at Dollar Tree, grab one of these 3-tier cake trays. We're going to be using the hardware out of that, but keep those plates because you never know when those will come in handy for another DIY. The hardware comes silver, and I want this all to match, so we're going to go ahead and paint that with the same gold paint as well, doing 2 coats. We are going to be drilling holes into those lids, so find a drill bit that's the same size as the screws on our hardware. Definitely want to consider safety first for this project. We definitely want to have our safety goggles and gloves for this, as it is going to throw out some metal shards as we drill through the lids. The cool thing is this is very thin metal, so it doesn't take a whole lot of muscle to really get those holes screwed into the center of each one of those lids. Now to put this all together, take your screw from the hardware kit, put a washer in it, and put it in the bottom of the largest lid. I want to show you this really cool snowflake multi-tool that I keep in my craft stash. It's come in super handy. It's like a $5 stocking stuffer type thing on Amazon. I'll link down below for you. Super affordable, super handy, small, and I keep it on my pegboard, so it's really handy. We're just going to use that to screw in the bottom of that big lid, and then we're just going to start stacking these using the hardware from that kit all the way up to the top. So of course you're going to do the largest lid, the middle lid, and then the smallest lid on top. Once it's all put together, give it another good twist and tighten to make sure everything's pulled together. I actually have a bonus DIY for you that I can't wait to share with you, but first let me tell you about a super fun game that I absolutely love. If you're looking for a break from the holiday hustle and bustle, you need to try my favorite game, June's Journey. It's a relaxing but challenging game, and what keeps me coming back is the mystery. Set back in the roaring 1920s, you follow June Parker, an amateur detective, as she digs into her family's secrets, and every chapter reveals new twists and surprises. These hidden object scenes are my favorite. They're like little visual puzzles that keep me sharp while pulling me deeper into the story. On top of that, I love decorating my island as I progress, making it feel unique to me. And there's always new seasonal events, so the game never feels the same twice. For me, it's the perfect mix of relaxing and challenging. I can unwind at the end of the day, but I also get that satisfaction of progressing through the mystery. If you haven't joined me yet, I will have a link down in the description box below and a QR code on the screen so you can download June's Journey today for free and dive into the mystery too. You can play on Android, iOS, and PC, like I said, for free, so make sure to click that link down below or scan the QR code on your screen. I think you're gonna love it just as much as I do, and thank you so much to June's Journey for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back into some holiday DIYs. Now let's get into our bonus DIY. I printed off some of our family photos on some regular thick 110-pound cardstock that I'll link down below for you. I have a specific one that I absolutely love that works really well for printing photos on, and it's also thick, so it's gonna work great for this project. Printed it off onto that cardstock, and we're just gonna cut out the photos. You're gonna need some gold glitter and some tacky glue and a paper plate. I'm gonna put a line of our glue onto the plate and a line of our glitter onto the plate, and we're literally just gonna take the edges of our pictures, run it into the glue, and then we're also going to dip the glue into the glitter to make a really pretty kind of antique-y vintage looking frame with little expense involved. I've seen some really pretty vintagey Christmas projects, paper crafts, for Christmas lately using this technique, so I really wanted to incorporate this into kind of our vintagey looking Christmas decor this year. This was the perfect way to do it. Really easy. You just tap off any of the glitter. As you see, I found it easier to put the glue all the way around the edges and then do the glitter next, and it did work really well. Just tap off all that glitter, let it dry, and then you have a really kind of accented and affordable frame for your photos. We're going to be adding those photos to our tiered Christmas cookie tin tray. I think this just turned out gorgeous. I embellished it with some greenery, some pine cones, some warm, cozy candles, and of course, our beautiful family photos. This is the bottom of a tin from our last project, and I'm going to be using those in some more DIYs, so make sure to keep watching so you don't miss how we use those all up. And I'm also going to be pairing that with one of these candle holders from Dollar Tree. I have got to give you a warning though, these stickers on the bottom of these tins are kind of a nightmare to get off. Lots of heat, lots of scraping, and you may even have to use some Goo Gone. I skipped the Goo Gone step because I'm going to be using some E6000 glue and some hot glue to attach the candle holder to the bottom of this tin, and I was worried that the oil from the Goo Gone would kind of hinder that, and you're not really going to see the bottom anyway, even though I'm going to paint it, because we are just going to make this as beautiful as possible. Once it has time to set up, you can start working on painting this, and I'm going to use some plaster colored, kind of cream colored chalk paint. I'll link it down below for you. It's from Walmart. And using a foam paintbrush to paint the entire thing. So the base, the outside, and the inside of the tin, so it becomes one beautiful unified piece. So this is after 3 coats of that plaster chalk paint. Looking so pretty now. We're going to accent a little bit more with some red chalk paint around the top and bottom edge of this tin to give it kind of a Christmassy enamel look. So it's another kind of rustic look here. We want that kind of chippy vibe, that kind of old time kitchen look. We're going to give this a gingerbread theme. All right, so this is looking beautiful. We're gonna accent this with some ribbon. I got this from Hobby Lobby. Really pretty red and white gingham. Has that kind of classic Christmas kitchen vibe, and I'm just gonna hot glue that around the center of our tin. Lots of different ways you can use this, and I'm gonna be adding some greenery in here, some gingerbread, some cinnamon sticks, spoons, candy canes, just really give this a beautiful vibe. It's kind of becoming sort of a centerpiece or a nice accent piece you can put on a shelf or your countertop. Or you could even put some parchment paper in here to make it a little bit more food safe if you wanted to put some Christmas treats in there. So whatever you want to do with it, I think it's gorgeous, and this really turned out so beautiful. Now, as I said, you can hit the thrift stores and find some Christmas tins for under $1 or right around $1. And I absolutely love this. It had such an antique-y look to it, which is really my vibe this Christmas. So I, of course, picked this up for only 50 cents. We're going to use it as an accent to the center of this wreath. So again, safety first here. We are going to have to do a little bit of drilling. So you need your gloves, you need your safety glasses, and you need your drill and a small drill bit. I just need to drill 2 small holes in here, one at the top and one at the bottom. Next, you're going to use some string or some wire to wire your tin lid to the center of your wreath on the back side. That's why I only really needed 2 of those holes, because that's enough to hold this in place for us. You want to make sure your wreath is about the same size as your lid so it'll sit on there correctly. And what I love about this too is you can switch up the wreath and the tin depending on the look and feel of your own Christmas, if it's not the vintagey vibe like mine, to match your decor. We're going to accent this some more using some antique looking ribbon. Again, a Hobby Lobby find. I always get my ribbon there when it's 50% off and save as much as I can. We're going to add a little string of this to the bottom. We're also going to add some antique looking jingle bells to the front of this. I did get those on Amazon. They'll be linked down below. They are nice, thick brass, and they have such a cute little ring to them. I'm going to use some floral wire to attach the jingle bells onto the wreath. I'm also going to add a little bit of a bow to the top with the jingle bell to just add a little bit more color. I had just a little bit of ribbon left over and I didn't want it to just sit and like be around for a long time. Might as well use it up. So you'll see all of that process happening here. Now, I am known to wire on as much as I can onto my greenery, so that way in the next year, if I want to take it off and use it in a different way, I can. And I love that this is also a great way for you to change up the looks of your wreaths, give them a totally different look year after year. And so by wiring it on, you have the ability to do that. But so cute, such an easy DIY to use with your lids of your cookie tins. You are just going to need the lid from your cookie tin for this DIY. Again, you just want to make sure your lid is less than about 8 inches wide. We're going to be using our Magical Miracle Gold paint for this. Again, that's linked down below for you, along with all the other supplies you'll see me using throughout this video. So if you're looking for anything, check down there for that. And we're going to just use that gold paint to do the outside and inside edge and that top rim of the lid. You're not going to see the back, so you don't have to do the back or the top of your lid or even the inside, because we're going to cover it up with some sheet music. Now, what you can do is head to Google, type in Christmas sheet music, print it off on some cream colored cardstock, trace your lid onto the paper that you've printed with your sheet music, and cut it out so it'll fit on the inside of your lid. Next, you're going to use some good old stick glue to add a layer of adhesive to the inside of your lid and drop your sheet music down inside there. We're going to embellish this with some greenery at the top, along with a bow and a jingle bell, and another Dollar Tree item, which we'll get to here in just a second. So here's the other Dollar Tree item you're going to need are these tiny little bottle brush trees. Add a dab of hot glue to the bottom and set one of the trees in there. Kind of makes for a cute little Christmas scene. You could add more trees in there if you wanted to. I wanted to keep this really simple, but another beautiful antique and aged looking Christmas decor piece. Now, if you are more talented than me and you love to bake, put all of your homemade Christmas cookies into one of the empty tins at Dollar Tree, or you can head to the food section, grab one of these butter cookie tins with the cookies already in there, and we're gonna wrap it up like a piece of candy for a cute and easy Christmas gift idea. So we're gonna take some tissue paper, wrap it in the center of the tissue paper around our Christmas tin, use some tape to keep it in place, and then we're also going to grab some cellophane from the gift wrap section at Dollar Tree and wrap that around our tissue paper and tape that into place as well. Next, you're gonna need some ribbon. We're gonna tie a bow around each end where they kind of puff out on the sides. And then you're gonna cut down the cellophane that kind of hangs over the edge of your tissue paper to make it all come together. This is a really quick, easy, and affordable way to kind of take your cookie tin gifts to the next level. You don't even have to necessarily put cookies in there. You could put a gift card in there, you could put treats in there, toys in there, a card in there, something homemade in there. Just a really fun, easy way to really take your gift up to the next level in an easy way. Now, I actually really loved this tin from Dollar Tree. I didn't want to do anything to it. We're going to enhance it a little bit. We're going to give it feet. We're going to give it a handle on top in a really easy way. So we're going to use these candle cups, another Hobby Lobby find. I'm going to paint them this darker green color. It actually matches one of the green colors on the tin itself. Another way to help this look come together. So I'm going to give these legs a couple coats of this acrylic paint, let them dry, and then we'll attach them. To attach the feet, we're going to use a combination of that good old E6000 glue to the bottom of each one of the feet, and then individually I'm going to add some hot glue onto each one of the feet and place them at the noon, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock locations on the bottom of this tin. Next, we're going to add the handle to the top of this lid. I did grab this drawer pull from Hobby Lobby, really pretty, and then I waited till it went 50% off, but you can also check their clearance section. A lot of times they have hardware, just random ones for like 60-75% off. So check there sometimes too. Again, strapping on my gloves, putting on my eye safety gear, because we're going to drill a hole right down in the middle of this lid so then we can attach our drawer pull. I absolutely love this. It just adds a little bit more love to something. Maybe you're going to use this as a gift item and put treats and gifts in here to give, something they can actually keep instead of toss away the gift wrap, or you can use it in your home to hide your remotes or put holiday candy in. Sky's the limit here. You guys are creative. I'm sure you'll find a fun way to use this. You'll need 4 bags of these frosted kind of winter berries from Dollar Tree. We're also going to be using the bottom half of our cookie tin that we used in the first project. This is the bottom half of it, and we're going to turn it into a faux pie. It's going to be so cute. So first thing you want to do is take the berries off of the wire that they come on. Initially, I put a paper towel in the bottom of the tin to kind of help take up some of the room, but I'm going to change that out here in just a second. So if you see that, ignore that. But for the most part, yeah, we just want to make sure we fill that tin up with those berries. And then we are going to start working on the outside of this tin. Obviously, we don't want the blue cookie kind of branding on there. So I took some burlap ribbon and I doubled it up, hot glued it around the edges of the tin, and cut off all the excess. So since I already had that burlap out, it kind of gave me the idea to switch that napkin out with the burlap. So in case you saw any of it peeking through the berries, it would just kind of look like the crust of our pie. That's also going to hide the bottom of our tin so you don't see it so much. And then we're going to pour our berries back into the tin. I raided my felt stash and was very fortunate to find these 2 little squares of felt that kind of look like crust for the pie. And to do that, you need to cut little strips. I would say this is probably 6 inches by 6 inches. And we're just going to cut those little strips all the way across each one. And then that's going to be used for the crust that we're going to lay in that kind of lattice pattern that you would typically see on a pie. Once those lattice pieces are weaved together, we're going to very carefully pick this up, put it on top of our pie. Obviously, one fell off, not a big deal. We can redo that very easily. I didn't want to glue anything yet because we want to make sure this kind of form fits to our pie. So once it was laid on top, you can start hot gluing down where each one of those lattice pieces touches each other, and then also underneath where they're going to touch the actual edge of that tin. Then take your scissors and go around the edges and cut off anything that's hanging over. I'm going to use my next piece of lattice and cut the exact same kind of strips and use that for the ruffled crust around the edge. To do that, I'm going to hot glue down the end first and then run a line of hot glue down the center of the back side of the felt piece and kind of do like a wave and push down here and there so that it makes that wavy kind of crinkly looking crust. And we're going to do that all the way around. I think this turned out so darling. I've had this idea in my head for a long time now. Finally was able to make it come to life. If I want to make this just a little bit more Christmassy, I probably would add a couple berries on top and maybe a sprig of greenery just to give it that Christmas touch. But this is something you could even leave out year round if you just kind of wanted to decorate up your kitchen, or if you have, you know, like a coffee bar or something, some shelves that you want to decorate in your dining room. It just adds a little pop of red color. It'd be so cute for Valentine's Day too. But I happen to have this cheese cloche on hand and it actually fits in there almost perfectly, and I was just in love with it. Another one of my thrift store finds that I paid only a couple dollars for. Now go ahead and head down to the description box below, or you can scan the QR code on your screen so you can start playing June's Journey today for free. I hope you enjoyed today's DIYs. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button and let me know which one of these projects was your favorite down in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. I'll have 2 more Christmas videos popping up on your screen so you can head on over and see even more budget-friendly holiday DIYs. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will see you in the next one. Have a creative day.